So you see the date is the 14th of November. This was the initial scholarship workshop, but we're doing a second one. So it's the same information. So our objective is to examine the scholarship application and review processes in order to develop potential opportunities for you to win scholarships. I'm going to do a quick welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about myths and facts as it pertains to scholarships, available scholarships for you, the application process, the review process, and then we'll get into questions. So in the chat, if you could share your name, your major, your graduation year, an interesting fact about yourself, and what you want to know about COE scholarships and what you hope to take away from this workshop. And while you're typing that, I'll just take some time to share a little bit about me. Again, my name is Katie Joni. I am a professor in the secondary middle school education department, and I am also the scholarship committee chair, which means I am the leader for the reviewing and awarding of scholarships. We'll just, while those of you that are still typing, I'll just talk a little bit about one of the things is that it's important that you have already been accepted into the College of Education and under one of the specific programs, so that you can be awarded the scholarships, because these scholarships are only for students that have been accepted into one of our programs. So something to think about when making your application. So some myths and facts here. A myth that a lot of students think is there's no point in applying for scholarships because they are only for students with 4.0 GPAs. That is not true. COE enrolled students with a GPA of 3.0 or higher, 3.0 or higher are eligible for scholarships. So please keep that in mind. No one really reads the essay or resume. It's just a necessary requirement. Not true. When reviewing scholarships, the scholarship committee spends many hours reviewing and scoring essays, resumes, and recommendation letters. The stronger the essay, the stronger the candidate. So when we review scholarships, we are looking at your information. We look at your major, we look at your program, we look at all those pieces. But really, when we're reviewing and evaluating your application, we really focus in on your essay and what that says about your passion in education. We're focused in on your resume to see where you have leadership and leadership opportunities, where you may have had some community service opportunities, and maybe if you've had some national or state or even local awards. And based on those things, we give you an evaluative score, and the stronger they are, the higher you rank. There are not that many scholarships I could win, so it's not worth my time to apply. There are over 65 scholarships available to COE students. There are a lot of scholarships. So both merit and need are considered. Some of them are they're focused only on merit, meaning your GPA and your academic accomplishments. And then some of them are only need-based, where it's really focused in on need. And you, of course, have a FAFSA, and only students who have financial need are eligible for those scholarships. And then there are some that are both. So, really important to see that there are some myths that go along with scholarships that just are not true. So what I'd like you to do is take the next 5 minutes to review the applications and the scholarships available to you. This is a flyer created by the scholarship committee. And there's some QR codes here. I'm going to put the link for this in for you. And just give me a second. I'm going to get that up for you. But I'd like you to just take the next 5 minutes after I'm done talking and look at the different scholarships. So first, there's the general COE scholarships. And if you click on, like I said, I'm going to give you the link for this whole thing. there's 25 scholarships that are just for COE students, any COE student. Specifically, elementary education students, there are 28 that are only for, elementary education students. Some of you said that you are early childhood. There are 11 that only you can get. If you have to be an early childhood education major. The same for special education, 11 for secondary, and then there's some miscellaneous ones as well. However, kind of going back to the fact that if you think about those of you that are early childhood, there are 25 scholarships that are general and then 11 scholarships that are specific to you. So that is 36 scholarships out there that, you know, there's money available to you. So give me a minute. I'm going to get that link for you. All right, so I'm going to come back to this and we'll come back to this because for some reason the link is just not allowing me to do what I need to do. So this is the Towson University Foundation application link. I'm going to put this in the chat. Okay, and you sign in with your TU credentials. And as a TU student, technically, you are already in the general system. However, College of Education has its own application and you need to apply for that. So if you want to take a second, sign in with your credentials, take a look around, you can go ahead and do that. Jenna, how do you pronounce your name?
It's Genevieve.
Okay, Genevieve. I just want to make sure. So Genevieve,
No, you're fine.
Are you a transfer? Is this your first semester at Towson?
This is my second semester at Towson, but yeah, I was a transfer.
I think it's okay if it's from a community college. I think it would be okay. I'm just thinking about when we go to review. I think it would be okay since you're a transfer student. If you can get one from a Towson professor, that would be better. But, you know, if the letter is from the community college professor, if that's the only one, then that's okay too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So go ahead. Oh, I have another question. What does it mean by undergraduate teacher education program? That is one of our programs. You are in as a College of Education student, you are in the undergraduate teacher education program. And Anna, what did you say? I'm just going back here. So you're in the early childhood teacher undergraduate education program. Okay. So Anna, you're graduating 2024, right?
Yeah, I'm graduating 2024. Yeah, December.
Yeah. So you have some time. You're fine to apply.
So I just put yes here that I am in an undergraduate teacher education program.
Yes. Oh, are you applying as we're talking?
No, I was just looking it over as you were talking, and I just wanted to make sure if there was any questions I had.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you are in an undergraduate teacher education program. Thank you. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is the application that you are probably looking at, maybe just like Anna. I'm going to stop sharing and go to my files. Sorry, just talking to myself while I'm getting this up. All right, and I'm going to share again. All right, so this is the College of Education conditional application that you are looking at on the TU Foundation. So when you're graduating, you'd write that down. The question that Anna just asked me about the undergraduate teacher education program, yes, as long as you've been accepted into one of our programs, that's a yes. Your academic standing, I believe you all said you're undergraduate. You'd pick your specific program. If you're a graduate student, so on. Do you plan to teach in Maryland? I'm going to tell you the truth about this. When we see that people say no, sometimes it can be, there are some applications, there are some scholarships that are specific to students that are teaching in Maryland. So that's something to think about. You know, if you don't live here, we get it. If you're planning to go back home, completely understand. If you're planning on moving out west, we'd love to have you in Maryland, but many of these are for students who are considering to stay in Maryland. Something to think about there. If you were in TAM, you'd put that there. Your final semester, there's some specific scholarships focused on Sicilian or Polish heritage. So you'd answer that question. And then if you do have Sicilian or Polish heritage, you would talk about how you connect to that heritage. Again, this question is about completing a clinical placement in underperforming schools in Baltimore City or Baltimore County. Again, this is specific to a scholarship that we have that is awarded to students that are committed to doing that. It does not mean that you have to, it just means that you are interested in it. If you've been in scouting, you see some of these are very, very specific. So that's why these questions are here. There are some scholarships that are specific to students from different counties in Maryland. Like there's a Harford County scholarship, there's a Baltimore County scholarship. That's why we ask this. There's a scholarship for first generation students. We do like to know if you've ever gotten another TU scholarship, you put them there. If you are involved in community service organizations, a member of Kappa Delta Pi, involved in any, there's somebody who wants to join us here. Involved in an organization that advances equity and diversity, and then you would have an information about that. This is your essay, 1 page or less, an experience or person that impacted your desire to become a teacher. I'm going to talk about this more, but I want to really inform you that this goes further than I'd like to play school when I was a kid, right? This goes further than I really loved my English teacher in high school. Well, what made you decide to become a teacher? What did your English teacher do to make you feel like I want to do this, right? That's what you want to think about. An experience or a person that impacted your desire to become a teacher. And we are looking for passion. We are looking for commitment to education, and something unique, right? And that has nuance that goes a little bit deeper than I like to play school when I was a kid. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize my video was gone. My apologies. Okay, the next is, and again, while I'm talking, put any questions you want in the chat. The resume. Exactly the way you see it formatted here is how you should have it formatted. Your professional objective as an educator, what is your goal? Your education, including your current GPA at Towson or any community colleges. If you've taken any certification tests, you want to share them there. And if you've taken them but you haven't passed, you can write that. Volunteer experience, community service, any employment, and leadership. Like I said in the beginning, that's what we use to evaluate. We look at any leadership skill, any leadership opportunities, community service opportunities, work related to education, work experience. And if there are many students who are unable to do community service because they're working, well, if you've taken on leadership roles in your work, put that, right? if that's in, the space that you have had leadership roles, share that. It's important to recognize all of your accomplishments. So when we go to evaluate you, we see all of the things. It's okay, Mirka. No worries. This is for elementary education majors. There's a specific scholarship for them, specific for graduate students. This is a reference letter. And I'm so sorry, but I want to go back just very quickly to the resume. Nothing from high school, unless it was very important or related to education. So if you were in TAM, or you were in Educators Rising, or you were a leader in a specific club that's related to education, definitely put it there. But other things we're not going to put. So just something, forgot to mention that.
I have a question for that.
yeah.
So like, we can't talk about high school, but like, can we talk about like younger age or just like after high school?
What do you mean younger age?
Because you're saying that for the resume, we can't, like, we're not able to, like, we like don't talk about anything like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So do we talk about like, when we talk about why we wanted to become a teacher, like,
Oh, yeah. Yes, I meant in your, yes. So great point. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, in your letter, in your essay, you definitely want to be talking about an experience from your schooling, and it can be, I guess, kindergarten, through high school or even in college. But I'm talking about your resume, when you go to write your resume, not to have, like if you volunteered in high school and it was just, I don't know, something not related to education. You don't want to put all the things you did in high school. You're looking past that. Does that make sense?
yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Okay. The reference letter. So professional reference written by someone, okay, from the College of Education or someone from a partnering school. I was wrong. It looks like it cannot be a community college professor. So do you think that's something, sorry, I'm just going back. Genevieve, do you think that's going to be an issue?
No, I don't think so. I took 6 classes last semester. So I think I can definitely talk to one of my professors that I had.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. My
Thank
apologies
you.
there. Yeah,
No,
of
you're
course.
fine.
And then of course there's a checklist. You want to make sure you have all of these pieces. The good news is, I don't know if you noticed when I was at the top of this, that the date was yesterday, but it is not. The scholarship deadline has been extended to next Wednesday, the 15th. So you have another week to get everything together and get all the information in. If you feel like there's going to be an issue and you won't be able to do it by the 15th, let me know, by the end of this week, if there's going to be an issue, and you can't get it in that time. I can tell you, when it comes to the reference letters, if you've turned in your whole application, and you put where the reference letter piece is, you are only putting the name and email of the reference, right? So then they will you want to inform them, of course, that you're asking, and then you're going to put their name and email, and then they will send it. So you don't have to worry about, if they don't send it in time, that your application won't be accepted. You just want their name and email there.
So for the reference letter, when you guys email the professor, you will explain what it is you're looking for?
No, they will get an email that states, please write a reference letter about, or you've been requested to write a reference letter for a scholarship for this student. And then they would, yeah. It's not much of what we're looking for. We're really looking to see from this reference letter that, of course, you're a strong student, maybe that you're a collaborator, that you are committed to education, that, you know, all of the things that make up a good student. So that's really what we're looking for, that you're a leader in the classroom, just positive things, you know, about you as a student, and as a future teacher.
I have a question.
Of course.
Um, can the reference only be written by like a professor that we've had, or can it be written also by a mentor teacher? Because I'm currently in my last internship. Like I'm in my senior year and I'm in the internship right now, so I don't know if a mentor teacher could
Yes, your
Yeah,
mentor
for
teacher. Yep. Your mentor teacher can.
Okay. And even if you're a senior, you can still get this scholarship?
When are you graduating?
December 2023.
Yes, you will
Okay.
so you are going to be eligible. Yes, so we are going, I'm going to get into well, I'll get into that now. Any
Okay.
other questions about the application before we move on to the next part?
I just have one more, sorry.
No, ask that's what this is for.
Okay. Is the deadline for it, like, I know you said the next Wednesday, but is there like a certain time or you just have to get it in by 11:59?
11:59.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
great
Thank you.
question.
One more
Mhm.
question on my part. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. That's what this is for.
The essay you talked about, like, you know, what made us want to pursue education, etc. But
Uh-huh.
then you have there's another part in the application that says if you are in elementary education or early childhood education major, describe why you chose education as your major. So isn't that kind of like the same as what I'm going to
Yes.
be putting in my
Yes.
essay?
So like I was saying, there's some specific scholarships that they ask for a short essay regarding their major. So the general essay is someone or an experience that impacted your desire to become a teacher, right? So either one of those things. Whereas elementary education, if you're an elementary education major, this is more specific to why you chose to teach elementary age children in an urban setting. So it's more specific, and that is because it's a requirement of a specific scholarship. So essentially you'd be writing the longer essay, and you would also be writing this if you choose to. Does that make sense? If you're an elementary education major.
Yeah, because then it also says or early childhood.
Right, yeah, so this
Okay.
is only for elementary education. I do not think there's no, there's not a specific essay for early childhood, not yet.
No,
Sometimes
I'm
they
saying
ask-
it's for the 500, like where like the very small one, it says if you are in elementary education or early childhood education major, describe why you chose education as your major.
it says, when you look at it on the application, it says elementary or early childhood.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
And then of course the 1-page paper for the
Yes,
tactic.
yes. Okay. So there must have been a change to that. So okay. Yeah, so if you're early childhood, then you definitely want to write that for, because that specific scholarship requests a very specific essay on top of the general one. Okay, I'm gonna go back here and see, can we have current supervisor? Yes. Clarissa, yes, you can have current supervisors write the reference letter. Great question. Okay. Genevieve, do you have a question?
Yeah, I did. In regards to like the second essay for like early childhood, what if the reason behind like you picking or like me picking early childhood is basically the same as to like why I chose the profession in general?
So that, I think you would just have to be more specific and maybe focus in on your philosophy. So the first one is your desire. What experience or person made you want to become a teacher? Whereas this one is your philosophy. and talking about your philosophy and teaching children in an urban setting. So it may be related to it, but you can go a little bit deeper into your specific philosophy and working with children in urban settings. If that helps.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, that definitely helped. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Any other questions about the application before we move on? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is a, how do I get out of this? Okay.
Sorry, I just have a question. So I guess I haven't been accepted into the College of Education program yet, but like that's my track in my major, like my major is education related. So am I still able to apply, or I do have to be in the program as well?
So what year are you graduating?
2026.
So typically, we work with, this is more, for students who are already in the College of Education, that have been accepted. However, if you're 2026, I mean, you can try and apply. There's a possibility. I would still apply. And then if there are no scholarships available, you know, you have all this information, you can definitely apply next year when you're officially in the program. So I
Alright.
would still do it because, you know, there's definitely a possibility. I can tell you that this past year, we had such a small group of students apply that we were giving the same students a lot of money because there wasn't a lot of applicants, hence the reason for this workshop. So there's definitely, you know, enough money to go around. There's a likelihood that you won't, but I would definitely still apply.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Do you know up to how much money we can get for our school year? It depends. Yes, Anna, great question. It depends on the scholarship. There are some scholarships that are $10,000, and then there are some scholarships that are $200. Those scholarships that are on the smaller end, we typically try to award, you know, more than one scholarship to students so that they're not only getting one small scholarship. But yeah, it depends. They're all different ranges. The average is usually between $1,000. It's usually $1,000, sometimes $2,000, and then there are the ones that are the larger amounts. But there's 4 of those. Okay. So let's see. Let's go to. Oh, I was going to show you the essay. Okay. Is this the essay? No. Is this the essay? Yes. Okay. So this is an exemplar essay. And just take a second, read through it.
I'm sorry, what are you asking us to read?
Oh my gosh, is it not sharing? Sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry. Here we go. This. So this is an essay, and you've been reading, that is really an exemplar essay where the student is talking about her mother, how she decided to become a teacher or wants to be a teacher because of all of the things that she saw her mom do. But you notice there's a lot of it's really seeing the passion, the dedication of her mom, telling some personal anecdotes, and really giving a lot of information. And this was just one that we felt was more of an exemplar scholarship. And I can show you. So this will be a non-exemplar, right? And I'll move down. You can see there's not much there.
We still can't see it.
Oh, for the love of the Lord. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Wait, I can see it. Oh, the essay?
No, the
Or
different
No,
one.
there was a
that
new
one.
essay.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
That so now there's a new essay. It says teaching philosophy with urban setting. Okay, so you can see the difference between, and I'm sharing my screen now so you can see everything. You can see the difference between the two essays where this is more in depth and the other one is not. So you just want to think about, it doesn't have to be about a family member. It can be about an experience. It can be about a teacher, but really just going in depth of why this person or this experience made you realize that you wanted to become a teacher. Questions?
I wanted to ask, so if you've applied for FAFSA,
Mhm.
how can I apply for the scholarships?
Say that one more time. I'm so sorry.
If you've applied for FAFSA, how can you apply for scholarships?
So this is for the College of Education Scholarship. If you go to, I'm going to put this in the chat. Hopefully it. Oh, no, 1 second. I believe I already had it up. Yeah, that's it. So this is the application for the scholarship. And this is specific to the College of Education Scholarship. So there's many scholarships in Towson, and as Towson students, you are already you've already been registered for Towson scholarships, but specific. Go ahead, Natasha.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
So how does FAFSA come into?
So when you apply for your scholarship, there's a
Yeah.
general application and it shows that you have applied for FAFSA and it shows us your need.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. So the review process. How do we review scholarship applications? So each applicant is reviewed by 2 committee members. There are 6 of us on the committee. Excuse me. And we each are given a certain amount of scholarships depending on how many students apply. So if 80 students apply, we all get whatever 6 divided by 80 is. We all get a certain amount of scholarships, and we don't know who else reviews the scholarships. All we know is the students that we review. And when we review them, I think I did speak of this earlier, but we look at all of the components that you see on where it says scoring components, and you get a score from 1 to 10, and then a combined score is specified for each applicant. So we look at the GPA, TU, or your transfer institution. As I said, with your resume, we look at your work experience, your community service and your professional organizations, your honors and awards, your leadership, and then your essay. All of these pieces get a score from 1 to 10. So it's important to share all about you, all the things, all the great things about you. And as I was saying, if we see in your work experience that you take on leadership roles, but you don't have as much community service, well, we can see that there's some leadership there, right? Because we want to be equitable. There are many students that can't do community service because they're working, and we want to be fair with that. So we do look at all the different components. And then when we go to award the scholarships, that is just one component. So when we get together after we've reviewed all of the applications and all of the students who have applied, gotten a score, then the committee gets together and we go through the various scholarships and we award them, and we look at not just the score, right, that the student has gotten from the different reviewers. We're also looking at the GPA, right? We're looking at something between a 3.0 to a 4.0. We're looking at if there's specific things for the scholarship, depending on where they, if they have to be teaching in Maryland, or if they have to have graduated from a school in Maryland, or if they're an elementary or early childhood major. So we're looking at all of those things. And then based on the students that are in front of us and their scores, we award the various scholarships to different students. And that is our review process. Any questions about that?
Just have a question. Do international students eligible to apply for the scholarship?
Are you accepted into the College of Education? Are you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you're a College of Education student.
Okay.
Yes.
And the teaching experience doesn't need to be here in Maryland, right?
Are you a graduate student?
Yes, I'm a graduate student. I have some teaching experience, but not in Maryland, in different state and back home.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Of course.
I also had another question. So when is it just for like few select students? Like how many students are actually able to get these scholarships? Like like how many people are allowed to get that scholarship? Is it just one person or?
Oh no, there's 65 scholarships. So we award 65 scholarships. So go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, and is it just Towson based or?
Is it just Towson?
Based like just Towson students?
Yes, it's College of Education students. It was specifically College of Education students.
Okay.
Good question.
And you were saying that it awards so 65 applications, so it can award 65 students technically?
Well, it depends. Yeah. So there's 65 applications, but like I said, 65 awards, but some of them, like I said, are like $100 or $200. So we like to combine those so that, like instead of, I'm just saying, for you, like combine 3 scholarships so that it adds up to $800 or $1,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? Because although it's wonderful to get $100, it's nicer to get some more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So of the 65, there's probably 20, less than 20 that are small denominations. So we try, those are the ones that we combine to give more money to students.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Other questions that you have? my email address was on the end of that. I'm going to put it in the chat. So you can email me any questions that you have. But like I said, we push the deadline to next week. So you have another week to apply. You know, you all as College of Education students, I know, have wonderful writing skills. And so writing that essay and getting that resume together, hopefully you already have some of it together. You know, I would just love to award as many scholarships as I can to you. But go ahead, Shema.
I just have a question. Does a doctoral student have a different scholarship, or it's all the same under the graduate student like?
Yeah, so there are some that are for general College of Education, all College of Education students, and then
Yeah.
there are some that are specific for graduate students.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions before we go?
Can't win them all.
No, you can't. Thank you. Yes, Anna, of course. I look forward to reading all of your essays and your resumes. And like I said, email me with any questions you have. I'm so happy you were able to make it. And thank you so much.